英語で説明 Okay, so these are the Toei Bus routes that lose the most money. And if you're wondering what this 284 or 185, basically this red column means, it basically means operating coefficient. And what operating coefficient means is that営業係数, if your operating coefficient is high, you're pumping a lot of resources in order to sustain a bus service, but unfortunately you are not getting your money back. But if your operating coefficient is low, then it means that you put in very little effort. You don't really have to pump in that many resources, but at the end of the day, you are still making a net profit. So, Toei Bus Service 48 that starts from Nippori and ends at Minumadai Shinsui Koen has an operating coefficient of 284, and it is the Toei Bus service that loses the most money. Yeah, it really loses a lot. I don't really have to describe this route because it literally parallels the Nippori Toneri liner. If you don't know what that is basically a light rail transit, LRT in short. And the problem with this line is that it is quite disjointed from the rest of Tokyo's train network. Like, the interchange is at station number 4. And from station number 4 all the way up till like station number 13, it is just rail. And in any case, if this rail line ever goes poof, like for whatever reason, you're pretty much screwed. And you can only rely on this bus service to reach Nippori. But under normal circumstances, this bus service just keeps losing money day after day after day. And I've taken this bus service like I think 2 or 3 times, and there were very, very few passengers because everyone just prefers the LRT there. So yeah, this bus service and its like short working trips, they have cut it a few times. Like, they've reduced the number of trips per day and it is still bleeding money. I've actually filmed it before. Sometimes, if you're lucky, you might see Scanias on this service. So yes, as I've mentioned earlier, it literally copies the entire stretch of the LRT except for like one small sector. And yeah, as you can see, in one direction there are only like 6 buses per day that run the full route, and the short working trip, iwayuru kukanbin, it's quite bad. It's like 1 bus per hour, or even worse than that. There are like some frequency gaps here and there. Like from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. there is one big frequency gap. And yeah, the LRT is really, really crowded, and yet people still don't use this bus. Now, as compared to like Southeast Asia, it's like, when you're talking about length, it's nothing. But this is already one of the, how you would say it's actually quite a distance compared to like the average bus route length in Japan. And that's kind of the reason why when you run a bus route that's this long and you don't have enough passengers, yeah, you lose money. And the next service which loses a lot of money is Service 70 from Ome. Ome is in West Tokyo. This route is really insane. It is so long. Like, it goes from Ome all the way down to Kodaira on like Seibu Shinjuku line. I would say this is like as long as a typical bus route, like a long distance bus route in Southeast Asia. Frequency wise, I honestly expected it to be worse, but 1 bus per hour for such a long route, for Japan standards, you know, public transport there is typically like horrible, but for such a long route, it's actually quite good. 1 bus per hour. But the reason why this route loses money is because there are very few passengers who are like taking the bus long distance. And yeah, that really hurts the service. Now, most bus operators in Japan, they charge like distance fares. Like, the longer distance you take, the higher your fare gets. And sometimes there is a fare cap, but that's kind of rare. But Toei Bus and Yokohama Municipal Bus, or Yokohama City Bus, Yokohama Shie Bus, they, if I'm not mistaken, all of their routes charge like flat fares. Which means if you're charging flat fare for this entire route, you're bound to lose money, like, come on. And I'm just gonna briefly go through the rest of the top 20 loss-making services for Toei Bus. Nerima 68, Chokko 02, Tamachi 99, Ome 74, Gotanda 94, Hamamatsucho's 95, Ome 70, Hashi 86, which is from Shimbashi, Toei 03, T03, Shinjuku 75, AL 01 from Higashi Ojima, I think. What is this? I think that's from a Rinkai area, Nami 01. Funabori 28, Shibuya 88, Waseda 81, Toyocho 12, Shijo 01, it also goes to Rinkai area, Ome 77, and CH01, which is like Shinjuku, I think. And as mentioned earlier, the lower your operating coefficient is, the higher your net profit is. So the biggest money-making services are Shinagawa 99, Kita 47, Tokyo 22, T07, OG 57, Shinkoiwa 21, Ueno 69, Kinshicho 25, Ueno 28, Shinkoiwa 22, Kasai 21, Ikebukuro 65, Gaku 06, Kusa 63, Idabashi 64, T02, Kinshicho 18, T08, Tamachi 87, OG 40, Mejiro 61, Monzen Nakacho 33, OG 55, Tokyo 16, Nippori 22, which goes to Kinshicho, I believe, and it's cut off here, but it's Kameido 21, I think. So if you compare Shinagawa 99, which is in first place, and in fourth place T07, for T07, you're earning like more money, but your putting in more resources in order to get that money. Whereas for Shinagawa 99, you're putting in less resources to get like that specific amount of money, like 197,000. And yeah, technically when you're talking about net profit, okay, I know I'm bad at economics, but basically Shinagawa 99 is more profitable than T07 because the operating coefficient is lower. Toei Bus 乗車2人が多い上位20系統 which basically means the top 20 services that has the most passengers for Toei buses. And yeah, it's kind of interesting. I'm just gonna go through the services again. OG40, T07, T02, Tokyo 22, Kinshicho 25, Narihira 10, Shinkoi 121, Mejiro 61, T05, Kusa 63, Ueno 58, Kita 47, Umi 01, which is from Rinkai area, T08, OG 57, T01, Tamachi 87 again. Shinagawa 99 appears on the list again, Toei at Tokyo 16 and T06. Now, just because you have a lot of passengers doesn't necessarily mean you will profit. As you can see, there are some services that make a net loss instead of a profit. And the reason why is because, let's say for example, you have like this bus route that's like, say, 20 kilometers long. I'm sorry. And only for like 5 kilometers you have a lot of passengers, and the other 15 kilometers you don't really have a lot of passengers. And this basically means that even though you have many passengers boarding the bus at that one section, overall you're still like losing money, which can be seen in the operating coefficients at the rightmost column. Like some of them, the loss-making services, they're in the hundreds, whereas the ones that profit are in the high 70s. So I'm sorry that this video is kind of blurry and choppy because I have no script. I usually do my videos without a script. I do it in one take. I just pause and unpause the videos, so that's why. Bye.